Hey everybody, Daniel here with WynHouse Software, and today we're going to be talking about how to create a logo from scratch. So before starting with the logo, it's important to understand what you are using this logo for. You have to determine what the brand is of the company you might be working for, or if it's your own company, what your brand is, what the purpose of the logo is supposed to do for it. If you're supposed to implement it onto a car, maybe it's a car logo, or maybe you want the logo to appear on a bottle. These are all things that you want to consider when creating the logo. How big it's going to be seen, how small it's going to be seen. All these things should be determined when creating a logo. So what we're going to do for this video is we're going to create our own company that we are going to create a logo for. So the company we are going to create is going to be called Squooshy. So Squooshy is a sushi restaurant that also hosts wrestling tournaments. Crazy, right? So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to create a logo that kind of symbolizes that. Their brand is kind of more playful, energetic, not really necessarily rugged, more kind of happy, go-getting, not what you would expect of a wrestling slash sushi restaurant. It's kind of very uplifting. After the wrestling tournaments, the opponents will give each other high fives. It's a very uplifting kind of vibe that you get. This is kind of the brand that is created through Squooshy. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make some sketches that can kind of give off that vibe that Squooshy is really aiming to go for, and so we're really going to play with that. So we're going to go ahead and start our sketching now. So when you're sketching, it helps to be good at sketching, but you don't necessarily have to be good at sketching. It does make life easier in the long-term scheme of things, but I am really bad at sketching, something I need to work on. But regardless, you should do it anyways, just because it helps kind of get the brain flowing, creating ideas as to what it is that you want to create. And so you just really just go at it. Everything that you think represents the company, you just start sketching away, maybe writing down some ideas as to what the client might be asking for, so that way you can kind of keep that in mind. One common practice that a lot of designers will do is they'll create a mood board, which is just a bunch of random pictures, maybe just taken off the internet or through magazines, wherever, that kind of go for that kind of vibe or that brand, the kind of branding that the company's going for. So one example would be maybe like a horror movie has kind of more dark, negative kind of pictures, maybe kind of spooky. But so in this scenario, our mood board would kind of be more along the lines of maybe there's like a picture of Fight Club, you got a picture of sushi, something with kind of brighter colors, maybe someone with a black eye, kind of along the lines of that. And really what you're going to want to do with these sketches is you're just going to kind of look at them, see which ones really stick out the most. If there's one that kind of sticks out more, you're just going to want to try and work on that. Maybe do the same thing but add some things here and there. And then from there on out, when you have a good sketch, you're going to take that sketch and you're going to use that as a reference up on Adobe Illustrator. So what is Illustrator? Illustrator is a Adobe software that kind of focuses on creating vector images. So what that means is, let's say you create a logo in Illustrator, you can make it very big or very small, and it's not going to lose resolution. So that's the kind of ideal type of image to have when it comes to working with logos, because you don't want to end up making something that's not a vector image and then you kind of scale it out, make it really big, and it's all pixelated. It's not going to look very good. So typically when making a logo, it's ideal to work with vector images, and so that's why Illustrator is usually the go-to for me when it comes to making logos. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be creating a logo on Illustrator, and we're just going to be covering over a very brief rundown as to like what I'm doing. If you'd like to learn how to use Illustrator, maybe we can do that in another video. Feel free to write so in the comments if you'd like to see that. But right now we're just kind of sticking to just the general kind of layout as to, or the workflow for creating a logo. So what you're gonna see is a speed run of just my process of just creating, using the reference picture to start off, and then using that to kind of lay out what it is I want to create. So starting off with the kind of like the sushi as eyes. I think what I ended up doing was the sushi, it almost kind of looks like black eyes. So you know, when you're fighting, you might get knocked in the face a couple times. You know, just typical fighting. And so I'm kind of pulling off of that using the sushi as eyes, and then the chopsticks as kind of like a mouth. So for the chopsticks, what I ended up doing was I just found a picture of chopsticks off the internet, popped it on there. I would just use it as a reference picture. So what I ended up doing was using the pen tool to trace over it to get the general shape of chopsticks. And then what I did was I used the colors of the chopsticks to make 3 main colors just for the shading of the chopsticks to make it into a more kind of clean looking vector image. And then what we end up doing, I kind of played around with this a lot, but I ended up using little pieces of brown rice as kind of the eyebrows. Please note that this is not my best logo work. I created this in about an hour. I just wanted to kind of put this all together just to kind of give you an idea as to what the typical workflow is for creating a logo, from nothing to determining what the brand is that you're making the logo for, to making a sketch, to putting it into Illustrator, working it out, and then to just some kind of general fine-tuning and making a final product. Alright, so that is how you make a logo from scratch to that. And so, hope you guys enjoy the video. If you'd like to see more related content, feel free to like and subscribe. Write in the comment section if you would like to see something similar to this, or if there's anything specific you'd like for us to kind of do a how-to or some sort of tutorial on. If you have any questions, or if you just want to share how your process is when creating a logo, feel free to comment as well. Hope you guys all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching.